Hey loves, I wanted to record hopefully a quick video in anticipation of the Conscious Business Mastermind starting next week. So we start on Tuesday, the 16th of Jan. It's my year-long business group program for conscious business owners like coaches, teachers, healers, and other service-based practitioners who want to change the world, basically. And I've been having so many calls with applicants and people who've been interested in the program and realized that I'm not great at sales pages. So there's a lot of information that I've been sharing in those calls that I don't typically share on the sales page or in my promotional material. So I thought it might be worth just coming on and making you a little video to share some of those things with you, because there are still a few spots available. And there are a couple of things that are happening this year that are different to previous years. So the first one is that we have two groups for the first time. So normally the mastermind, because this is 2024 is going to be my 5th year of running the Conscious Business Mastermind. So it's something that has become very much a part of my day-to-day business life. We have weekly calls, and it's just something that I love to do, and I love the groups that form around it. So normally we just have one group with a maximum capacity of 20 people, and with a call that takes place in my afternoon time. That's 5 p.m. CET, which is early, first thing 8 a.m. in Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UK. But this year there were so many people who wanted to join who couldn't make that time slot that I've decided to make two groups. So for the first time ever, we're going to have two calls every Tuesday throughout the year, every Tuesday pending my holidays. And so what that means is there is a group that is in my morning time. So it's 11:30 a.m. Central European time, 10:30 UK. Not sure what time that is in Thailand or Bali or Asia or Australia, but it's doable for people in that part of the world. So if you have looked at the mastermind in the past and thought, you can't do it because the time is prohibitive, I just wanted to get on and say that that is something that's new about this year. And there is a call and a group that should be accessible for you. The other thing is, this year is our first ever mixed group. So it's always been a women-only group, not because I've said it's women only, just that's who's applied. But this year we've had some male applicants, and we're actually going to have my morning group, so the group that is for Asia and Australia and also works for Europeans, has some men in it. So that's really nice and exciting. I always work with I always have male clients in the background, but I've never had them in my mastermind group program. So again, if you're a man out there who's been considering joining the mastermind but put off because you thought it was just for women, I wanted to share that with you also. And then what I wanted to do is just share with you a little bit about the kind of workings of the mastermind, how it works on a week-by-week basis. So as I said, we have weekly calls. I'll be having two of those, the same call repeated basically, now that there are two groups. Every Tuesday. There are a couple of Tuesdays in the year that we don't have them, typically when I'm going to take holidays, so Easter, summer, and yeah, there's a couple of dates in August, a date in April, a week in April, July, where there is no call. I call them integration weeks. It gives you a chance to catch up on some of the homeworks and just have a break from me. Those calls I have different call types throughout the year, and each month has its own theme. And I wanted to share with you something which is basically the call schedule for not 2024, because it's not complete yet. I always leave some of the schedule undetermined until the final group has been pulled together, because then I get a sense of what people need. And, so the first quarter of the schedule for this year has been set. But I just want to show you what the schedule for 2023 looked like, because I think it will give you a sense of how the mastermind actually works and what it looks like. So let me just share screen with you. And and just give you a sense of what's behind the scenes with the mastermind. So this was the 2023 schedule. As you can see, all the dates are down by the side. You can see where I've said, integration weeks when there haven't been calls. And I just want to run through the kinds of themes that we cover inside the mastermind. So in 2023, we had January was Authentic Outreach Month. If you know anything about me, Authentic Outreach is one of my fundamental pillars in how I've grown both my life coaching business and my business coaching business. So for those of you who don't know, I was a life coach before I became a business coach. And authentic outreach is a huge part of that. And by authentic outreach, I mean, reaching out one-to-one with people in our network, be they former clients, potential clients, audience, people in our audience who are engaging with our content, colleagues, peers, teachers, mentors. I teach a whole bunch of stuff on outreach. Some of you may have been in my outreach challenge that I ran early last year. So we cover that always. That's always in the mastermind. In February, we did business model. In March, we did content marketing, audience research, core message, visibility, loving launches, my approach to launching, collaborations. You can see here we had some guests. Some of you might know these names. We had George came in and talked to us about productivity. Rachel of Feed Marketing. We had Tad Hargrave who came and talked to us about hubs. Paid promotions was something we looked at, how to run low-cost ads to get your content more visible within your audience and beyond your audience, to grow your audience. Business structure, where I talk about processes and systems, something that I really love. For the first time ever, last year, we looked at SEO because I did a big 4-month training in SEO in 2023, and I pulled that together for the members of the mastermind. So we did a couple of classes on SEO basics, and December is always business planning. So the reason I'm showing you 2023, not 2024, is I have around 15 or 16 themes that I could do for the mastermind, but there's only 12 months and there's a theme per month. So like I said earlier, I kind of keep it open to see what the group wants and needs, and I'll ask questions. There are certain things I always teach. I always teach about outreach, business model, content marketing, core message. They're kind of fundamental foundational pieces that I look at. Then in terms of like the actual calls, like what is the mastermind? What do we do? What happens on those calls? We have a range of different types of calls. So we have a teaching call typically once a month where I'll teach on a topic. One of the things that mastermind participants get access to is my live public workshops that I run. So I run, I think last year I did 4 workshops. This year I'll be doing 6 workshops. So when you sign up to the mastermind, you get automatic access to my workshop. So I'll probably be teaching a little bit less inside the mastermind because people get access to much deeper teachings that I'll run as public workshops for free. But there is always a teaching element every month based on the theme. There's usually a practical call where we'll actually work on the actions that are coming out of that theme on the call, because we all know what it's like to go to a class or a workshop and learn a ton of stuff and then not actually implement it. There's always Q&A. And then a couple of other call types that we have are co-working. We have one of those once a quarter where we'll review our business plans. And business planning is something that I typically teach at the end of the year, but everybody who joins the mastermind immediately gets access to the teachings, the business planning approach and teachings that I ran at the end of 2023, and so can start to create their business plan. We review those business plans together, or we review our quarter, I should say, and then we plan our next quarter. So we have those once a quarter. And then we also have these spotlight calls. And this is where it's a bit like a Q&A, but it's a longer time slot for just 2 people instead of the Q&A calls, which have typically more slots, but shorter time frames. So it means that you can come, if you book a spotlight session, you can come and get a whole 30 minutes of dedicated time on your business. So, typical things that people bring to spotlight calls might be, I've rewritten my sales page and I'd love your feedback, or, I'm thinking about refining my niche and I'd love to hear what you think. And of course I share as the coach, my thoughts and feedback. And then because it's a mastermind, we open it up to the group. And there's some incredible people joining this mastermind this year with, brilliant businesses and a lot of wisdom and expertise coming into the mix. So I think that's probably, and then occasionally we have guests. Usually about once a quarter, I might have a guest come in and teach something, like a particular area of expertise where I feel they know more than me. I'm sort of a generalist when it comes to business coaching. I have my areas of expertise in my opinion, and then other people, that I respect, other colleagues, I'll invite them in to come and support us in going a bit deeper on some of the topics. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I'll show you something else really quickly, actually. So let me go to CBM 24. One of the other things you immediately get access to as a member of the mastermind is the resources folder. This is something that similar to something that I share with my one-to-one clients. It has all of my access to all of my resources, past workshops, again, my business model class, spreadsheets, template emails, like my content plan and schedule template. There's all sorts of things that, I share immediately when you join the mastermind. So I'm going to stop share there. I think that's everything I wanted to show you. Yes, I just wanted to just hop on and let you know we start on Tuesday. It's Thursday today. Tomorrow I have some spaces available in my diary for calls. So if you're interested in joining us, hit the application form, fill in the application form that you can find on the sales page, which I'm going to put below this video. And let's try and talk either Friday or Monday, because I don't let anyone into the mastermind that I haven't had a detailed conversation with, because the group dynamic is so important to me. And talking about the group, actually, one other quick thing I want to mention is the fact that so the cap on the group typically has been over the years 20 people, but because I've split it into two, it's going to be a minimum of 10 people per group, because of the applications we've had in. So I've hit my usual target of 20, but because it's two groups, we can go a bit bigger. It's not going to be much bigger than that, given it's Thursday, and I don't expect a huge rush in the next couple of days. But I just wanted to speak to that, because typically for the price point that I charge, which is €135 a month, you wouldn't get that size of group. So typically, if the price is lower, you get big groups of 30, 40, 50, 100 people in a business group. And if it's a smaller group, like 10 people, you're typically charged, 500, 1,000 a month, or, even higher in some cases. So I just want to add that point that this is an intimate group. It's small, but absolutely mighty. And a couple of things that people say to me typically at the end of the year is there's usually tears on the last call because people have formed such a bond. It becomes such a really close-knit community, and people always talk about the power of the group and how incredible it's been to have that kind of like open, vulnerable, close-knit sharing with, fellow business owners who want to do business in a similar way. So want to do business ethically and with integrity, and, in a more kind of slow, organic, building this for the long haul way than the typical mainstream marketing that we see online and all love to hate. So yeah, that's all the things I wanted to share with you, all the things that I don't have on the sales page. I'm probably also going to put a link under here to an email I sent out recently that has a lot of testimonials and video testimonials from people who've been through the mastermind, who talk about the impact the mastermind has had on them. And if you are interested and you want to hear from, people who have actually been through it, you know, be sure to like click through to that link and just take a look and see what people have said. And like I've said, time is of the essence. We start next week. So if you are interested, do fill in the application form or drop me a line. My email address is caroline@carolineleon.com. That's Leon. And we'll get the ball rolling and hopefully have a chance to speak to each other before we start on Tuesday. All right. Thank you.